Didn't see you there. Okay. Alrighty. Hello, followers. Welcome back to my channel. So before we get started, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I have previous videos. Like, comment, show some love. And today I have a special guest. She's going to introduce herself. You forgot your name?
I'm Azuri, guys. Follow me, Azuri_Kyrie. We got some real shit to talk about. So.
Some real ass shit to
Pay
talk
attention.
about. Man.
No.
So, the A&A show. We're about to get started. So yeah, today's video is going to be very long, but it's going to be worth it. Everything I talk about is literally going to tie into everything, so please be patient. So if you guys are new subscribers, I'm assuming that you saw my story and you saw that bitch stop staring at me the whole time.
I'm acting like I'm like I knew, girl. I seen that story, girl. What happened, girl?
So if you saw my story or my Instagram, you saw that I got cheated on, lied to, humiliated, embarrassed. Guess that's the same thing, whatever, all of the above. All right, so I'm gonna start off with, I caught a case, basically. I got into a little incident and we're currently going to court for it, so I can't say too much, but there was an incident. And yeah, so the night that the incident happened, I was panicking, freaking out, scared, all that. Scared for my life. So my headspace at the moment was very bad. I was on fucking edge. And I ended up getting into it with one of my best friends of 12 years behind the shit. So I was kind of upset that the shit happened. I fell out with my friend and just everything in my life was just fucking going left. So yeah, I was fucking depressed. So one night I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna get out of Houston and just go to Austin and go see one of my dudes down there. One of my dudes, but yeah. So I get to Austin, we kick it a little bit, and in the morning I wake up to a bitch pulling the covers off of me, going through my purse, throwing my shit around, trying to fight, doing the most, and you know. And so I had already just dealt with this incident. I was attacked in this incident, so I was already like, oh hell no, like I'm not dealing with this shit, no. So I went straight to my car and I got my gun and I brought it back in the house and I was like, bitch, if you want to try something, let's go. So the police were called. I let them know I pulled a gun out on her. She was a fucking intruder, so I had every right to. And
Wait, pause. Was this nigga's girlfriend?
yeah, so it was the dude's girlfriend and I had no idea that she existed.
How'd a bitch get in the house?
So she waited for him to go to work and waited for the garage to come up and ran inside.
She ran the garage?
She ran inside the house.
What, in a stalker?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Lock her up.
Yes. So I was pissed. I was pissed that I was put in the situation by him. And so I just got my shit, got up and left and headed back to Houston. So literally the same day, I get a DM like that night. And it's DJ, my ex. And he's like, why aren't you monetizing your Instagram? Why aren't you making more money? Da 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 da. A whole bunch of bullshit that I fell for. So he was like, come over tonight, we can talk about it and put together a plan. And I was like, well damn, I need money for a lawyer anyway, so might as well go see what this nigga talking about.
Sound like he want to be a manager.
Exactly. So I pulled up at his house, to be exact. What? Bitch, I don't give a fuck. So yeah, I pulled to see what the fuck, you know, interested.
Maybe after 2.
So immediately when I meet him, I'm like, oh, so I had saw that the girl that I pulled the gun out on, she was at Sky House earlier that day. So as soon as I met DJ, I was like, this girl, you know, I told her about the incident and I was like, she might be here. So if I see her, it might be a problem. Might have to fight her, you know, all that. So he was like, oh, you know, that's my homegirl. I heard about that shit.
This sounds real set up to me.
And I was like, wait, what? And that was my thoughts exactly. I'm like, wait, am I being set up right now? Like, what the fuck? So it turns out that's his best friend of like 10 years or some weird shit. So that should have been my red flag right there.
That's
like,
run away.
Right.
Run away.
That's the first red flag.
Yeah, that was the first red flag. But at the time I was drinking, so I was a little buzzed and didn't have the right, state of mind. And so I stayed. Well, actually, I felt comfortable because he brought me around his kid. As soon as I met him, his kid was right there. So I was like, why would he set me up with this kid right here, Which niggas would do that, but...
My baby daddy better not ever.
Second red flag.
Yeah, second red flag. You let me meet your kid on the first night. So the night I met DJ, the night I met him, the first thing that came out of his mouth, he tried to pimp me. That was red flag number, 3, 4, 5?
800.
Yeah. He tried to pimp me. He came at me on some pimp shit. Like, well, if you need a lawyer, you're probably going to have to do some shit that you don't like and like da-da-da-da. So I shut it down so quick. Like, you know who I am? Like, fuck no. I'm not doing that shit. So it literally was like a brief, like, 5, like, in and out conversation. And then he dropped it. We never talked about it again. But, so yeah, I got to talking to him and letting him know what was going on in my life, blah, blah, blah. And he told me he was a major in psychology, which he's a pathological liar, so I don't even know if that's true. But he had a very good way with his words, and he made me just open up like a book, basically.
Sounds a lot like Freeway to me.
Right.
So, okay. Let me see. First time with DJ. Okay, so, yeah, we ended up, like, kicking it off, and I actually did like him. I was like, he's cool, he's cute, he got a nice body, like, I can fuck with this nigga. So, oh, that scared me. So, I hung out with him for, like, the next 4 days. We kicked it literally every single day, and we got kind of close, and so, like, the 4th night we were hanging out, I was, like, drunk as shit, blacked out, fucked up off Jameson. Bitch, stop.
Y'all got kind of close.
Yeah, we got close.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we fucked the first night, I think.
The good times.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we fucked the first night. So, yeah, so then we got into a little fight because I was drunk, and I asked him if I could borrow a sweatshirt. And he gave me this big oversized sweatshirt, and I was like, you don't have anything smaller? So he went in his closet and brought out this like girl sweatshirt, and I was like, third red flag. But anyways, I was like, who cares? So I put the sweatshirt on, and we go up to the top deck, and we're chilling and shit. And I made a comment about the sweatshirt, like, this is a bitch's sweatshirt, so I don't give a fuck about the sweatshirt.
Sorry, she got me stuck when she said that this nigga brought a girl's shirt out.
Yeah, he brought the girl's sweatshirt out, and I was just like, yeah, So I made a comment, and I was like, this is a bitch's sweatshirt anyways, and he made a funny comment. So I took the sweatshirt off and threw it off the balcony, 24 stories. I was like, fuck this sweatshirt. So he gets pissed immediately, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, it's not even that big of a deal. Like, are you really tripping that bad? So he's like, you need to get the fuck out. You need to go. You need to get your shit and leave. And I'm like, damn, is it that serious? Like, what the fuck?
That was his...
No, he told me I didn't have to leave right then and there, but whenever we woke up in the morning, I was going to have to leave. And I was like, nigga, I'm not staying anywhere. Yeah, I'm not staying anywhere I'm not wanted, so I'll leave now. So I called an Uber. I was blacked out drunk. I start crying, of course, because I'm an emotional bitch, and cried the whole way home, got to my apartment, fucking cried the whole fucking night, and so that's when I had my first suicide attempt. Yeah. And you guys, this is not fucking easy for me to talk about. Like, I don't open up to people. I don't let people know about my personal life. Like, so this is me being very fucking vulnerable. So that night, I did something stupid, tried to take my life, and luckily, it didn't work. And my brother ended up coming to, like, help me, and I went to my mom's house and got my shit together or whatever. So the next couple of days, I was, like, literally broken. Just, like, everything that had happened in my life, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know what the fuck to do anymore. So I was texting DJ, like, please just talk to me, bro. Like, talk to me. And so we ended up like rekindling things and getting cool again. So I ended up, so at the time also, I found out that the cops were looking for me. And they had went to my parents' house, they went to my house, and I was like, what the fuck? I hadn't been charged yet. So I was just like, is there a warrant out for my arrest? Like, what's going on? So I was actively calling the bail bondsmen every day, checking to see if I had a warrant. And I didn't. So I didn't know like what I was supposed to do. I knew that I was most likely about to get charged, so I needed to get a lawyer ASAP. So I told DJ like, hey, can I just stay with you for a little while? Like, the police are looking for me. I need to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like, and so I ended up staying with him for like a week or two. And
which felt like a year to me.
Yeah. And after that, after those 2 weeks, I finally was like, you know what? I probably can go home. Like, I'm good now. The police aren't looking for me anymore. That same fucking day I went home, the police showed up at my door and arrested me. So I went to jail for 20 hours. Fucking terrible. It was ghetto as fuck. I don't want to go back. So, and mind you, all the detention officers in the jail knew I was from Bad Girls Club, so they kept fucking with me the whole fucking day and extending my time in there. And yeah, it was a shitty ass fucking experience. But when I got out of jail, it was really cute. Like, DJ had an outfit laid out for me, my favorite snacks, everything that I liked, all on the bed. And like, I had talked to him the whole time I was in jail. Like, he never went to sleep. He was talking to me constantly. He was ready to like bail me out, do whatever he had to do. And I just thought that was like so sweet, you know? He was very, very sweet. Like, and it was sweet of him to let me stay with him. Like, he didn't have to do none of that shit. And then when I was staying with him, he was like making sure I was fed, I was all that, everything. Even though I had my own money, he was still, you know, looking out for me. So we got kind of close. And so the day I got out of jail, I was talking to him and like, you know, telling him like I had to get a lawyer, figure this shit out. So he actually found the lawyer for me, and he was like, this guy's really, really fucking good. Like, you need to use him. And so we found out the lawyer was going to be $8K, $3K for the down payment. And so DJ was like, well, if I give you $3,000 now, can you pay for the rest? And I was like, duh, yeah. Right. So he cut me a check for $3,000, which was really fucking sweet of him. And I was just like, man, he really like likes me. And fuck, so yeah, we got really close. He gave me the $3K, and like we just started hanging out so fucking tough. Like, every single day I was with him, literally every single day. I think there was like one day that he wasn't with me because he was with his grandpa who was in hospice and he was supposedly dying. So he spent the night out there, but he let me stay at his apartment while I was there. Mind you, he said he had a house in Cyprus and then he just had a condo or whatever. So, what else?
Spread them apart. It's harsh.
Almost made me cough out my tampon. Shit.
Are you on your period?
No, bitch. I just wear tampons for fun.
You need not to be around me. I was living my best life the past 2 months. Okay.
Alright, so, yeah, we basically got really, really fucking close. Like, I don't know, we had like this very, very strong fucking connection for each other. And, you know, over like the next 2 months, he met my best friends, all of my best friends. I introduced him to like every single person that I cared about. And I was posting him in my close friends. Like, all of my close friends knew that I was like dating someone. And so one day out the blue, he was like, hey, I'm just gonna like give you the key to my apartment. Like, if you ever, you know,
want to come back.
And I was like, oh, that's sweet. You know, like, I never pushed the issue. I was never like, oh, we're dating, I need the key to your apartment. Like, he chose to give me his key. So I was like, cool. And even though I had his key, and I was going back and forth to my apartment and his apartment at the time. So every time I would go to his apartment, I would make sure I would call. Like, I would never just pop up. I would always call him and let him know I was coming. So,
you better than me, bitch. Who at the door? It's me.
I got the key.
So yeah, we got like super close. We even took a trip. This shit is harsh.
It is, David. You probably need to take one off.
Shit. So we even took a trip to San Antonio to visit one of my best friends of like 12 years. Not the one I've fallen out with, but another one. And the whole time, like, I don't know, he was just telling me how much he cared about me and like he had deep feelings for me and like all this lovey-dovey shit. And we had like very, very, very deep conversations. Like I told him about my upbringing, my sexual beliefs, my cheating beliefs, like a lot. Like we had deep ass fucking conversations. Like, and even at one point I had a conversation with him about how I felt about cheating. I was like, you know, like I'm a realistic person. I'm very desensitized to sex. Like sex is not a big deal to me. If my nigga goes and fucks a bitch, it's not gonna be the end of all be. Like I don't know. I'm just not that sensitive to sex. So I told him that like I'm realistic and I know that everybody wants to fuck other people. Just because we're dating doesn't mean you're gonna fuck me for the rest of my life. Like it's unrealistic. Because I want to fuck other people. Shit. So I'm telling him like, you know, I fuck with girls. Everybody knows I like girls. So like I'm down for threesomes. I'm cool with all that. And then I was also like, you know, and if you feel like you need to cheat, then do that shit. Like, but don't let me find out. And keep it cute, you know? Like,
keep it real.
Don't fucking shit where you eat. Don't bring that shit to where we lay our head. Don't fucking give any bitch any
upper hand on you.
Period. Like she shouldn't feel.
See, with you, who being who you are, that's always gonna be a hard situation. Cause bitches are gonna be like, I fucked Asia's nigga.
And I said that, and I was like, pay the bitch. If you want the pussy that bad, pay the bitch. And she will never open her mouth. You don't bite the hand that feeds you.
That's true.
She's always gonna think that you're gonna come back and pay her again. So pay the bitch to shut the fuck up and protect you, protect me, and do what you gotta do. Just don't let me find out about it. Because I'm gonna do what I wanna do, period. Always. But you'll never find out about it also. And I said that to him. So, yeah. So we definitely had the conversation about cheating. He told me he loved me first. Now, I wanted to tell him I loved him for like a very long time, but I didn't because I'm a dickhead. Like I just don't like to show my feelings, don't like that soft shit. So he ended up telling me he loved me first, and I don't think I even said it back the first time he said it to me. But then like later I was like, yeah, I love you. Which I did. I did love him. Like I fell in love with him. I really did. And I felt like our conversations were so deep and so strong. Like we had such like a open and honest, like, I don't know,
connection.
Yeah, like a huge connection that couldn't be fucked with. You know?
I mean, he wasn't a bad person from, you know, like the start, you know?
No, he was like a very, very sweet person. And
like when I met him, like it was, you know.
And everybody knows that like I don't show affection to people. Like I'm very like, I don't know. Like, and even when you came around me with him, you were just like, I've never seen you like this before. Like, literally.
First of all, are you really that nice?
Yeah, I'm not nice. So I was like very like all over him. We kissed all the time. We were just like very like, you could tell we were like super in love.
It was really like couple goals.
Yes, and it was so cute. And I was happy. I was super fucking happy. And in my head, I'm like building up these like thoughts about forever.
Right.
I'm like, you know, I could probably maybe marry him. Like he might be the one. I finally found my one. I waited all this time, you know. We were going on dates with his kid, like taking pictures, me, him, and his kid, like, and I'm like starting to love the kid too, like, you know.
It's a family.
Yeah, and even though he introduced me to his kid the first night, like everybody knows kids love me. I love kids. I'm a very, very good person around kids. And yeah, I fell in love with this kid, and I was just like, we could be a family, you know, like, yeah, all that. I felt like we were like, I don't know, so far into the relationship, I felt like I could post him, you know?
Right.
So I posted him on my story, but I still didn't show his face. I put a heart over his face and just like, you know, I'm in love. It's my boo, you know? So the same day that I post him, I get a DM, and it's like, bitch, that's, he's married, you're the side bitch, you're always gonna be a side bitch, da 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 da. And I'm like, this gotta be this stupid ass bitch that I pulled the gun out on. Like, everything
Right.
she was saying was like the same shit she'd been saying. So she kept writing me from all these fucking fake pages. Fucking weirdo bitch. And so I screenshotted the message and posted it on my story. Like, bitches are fucking weird, bro. Like, why are you worried about me all the
First
fucking
of all,
time?
I don't think Instagram allows you to make that many emails to keep making these fake pages. Y'all need to simmer down.
Seriously. Did the fucking actual message, and I didn't think anything of it when she said he was married, because he was with me every single fucking day. How can the man be married if he's with me every day? Right. So, after I had posted it, DJ replied to it and was like, don't entertain that shit, just take it down. And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, yeah, he's right. Like, that's petty.
Right.
So I took it down. Perfect opportunity for him to clear the air.
Period.
Perfect fucking opportunity. Never did. So, the second time I posted him, I think I only posted him like once or twice on my public. So the second time I posted him, I got another DM from another fake page. But guess who it was?
Same bitch.
Fucking Brittany.
Same issue.
So she's like, he's married again, da 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 da. But this time she sends receipts. So she has a picture of the wife and him on their fucking wedding day. And then she has sent a picture of them two, and her caption, the caption of the wife, and it was like talking about how much they were in love and they'd been together for 7 years and all kinds of shit. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck? So before I like freaked out, I was like, maybe he was married and he got divorced or separated.
Like that, yeah.
So I asked him, like, okay, why does she keep saying you're married? And he was like, well, we never talked about my my past before us. Mm-hmm. And he was like, so we have to have a conversation about that. And I was like,
but I feel like I had plenty of times.
yeah, and we were texting when I asked him about it, and I was like, oh God, you know, like what are you talking about?
Result?
And he was like, don't worry, it's nothing bad. And I was like, okay, cool. So that night, I don't know why we didn't talk about it that night. I don't think I just like wanted to bring it up or something. I don't know. I think we were around too many people and we just like never talked about it. But the next morning when we woke up in bed, I was just like, you know,
so what's up?
Like, tell me what's going on. Yeah. So he basically tells me that he's been married. He is married, but they're separated. They haven't been together for a year. And so I was just like, okay, cool. Like, if y'all are separated, and it made sense because you're with me every single day.
Right.
So he was married to his baby mama or whatever. And so I was just like, cool, like, no big deal. You know, cool.
Shit happens.
Yeah, shit happens. So that same night, so after we had the talk or whatever, I went home and like took a shower, did my own thing. So I had to work later that night. So I had called him and I told him I needed something from his house that I was going to come by. And he basically was just like, I'm about to leave, so I need to meet you and bring it to you.
But didn't you have the key at this point?
Yeah, so I'm like, why would you meet me and my job is right next to your house and I could just go up there and get it myself.
Right.
Like, that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, that's weird.
So, and I said that, and he was like, okay, I'll just wait for you. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I go over there and I tell him I'm there and he walks down the key. Oh, no, I missed a step. So okay, so he told me he was married that day, whatever. We went on about our business that day. The following day, I woke up and I told him I was about to come over because his friend texted me and asked me if I could let him in his apartment for his glasses. So I text DJ like, hey, I'm fucking missing so much. Okay, rewind. I'm gonna cut all that. All right, so basically the day he told me he was married, he told me that he had to stay. I'm still fucking missing so much. Okay, so after he had told me he was married, and we woke up or whatever, then we find out that Brittany. No, finish your text. Okay, Brittany, the girl that I pulled the gun out on, listen, because this shit is crazy. The bitch that I pulled the gun out on, she but she found the wife's LinkedIn account.
Oh, she got a LinkedIn.
She found the wife's LinkedIn account and called his wife and told her about me. and sent her screenshots.
Pause. Did he fuck Brittany? Because it sounds like Brittany got the dick.
So I did find out that he actually did fuck Brittany.
Yeah, he smashed that bitch.
Yeah, he did fuck Brittany. And I didn't know that. And he never told me that either. But yeah, she was doing a lot. But she was doing a lot because of something else. It's all about the come together. It's so fucking crazy. So, yeah, so the wife found out about me or whatever. So I heard DJ like get on the phone with the wife and he telling her like, you know, the situation or whatever. And I still didn't think anything of it. Because
he's telling me.
Yeah, he wasn't like, it wasn't like freaking out or anything. So I was like, okay, cool. So, I go home or whatever, do what I gotta do. DJ calls me and he's like, I'm gonna stay at my grandpa's tonight. Remember his grandpa's in hospice and he's done.
He went home to
So in my head, I'm like, okay, that's very ironic that the day that your wife finds out you're married, you gotta stay out.
Your wife find out you got a girlfriend and you gotta stay out.
So it was very apparent that he was doing everything necessary to make sure she was good.
Yeah. Gotta keep her happy, you know, hey, so, happy wife, happy life.
Right, so I really, like, in my head, I was like, okay, that shit's just a little weird. But I still was just like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna go with it. So the very next day, after he had stayed the night at his grandpa's or whatever, that morning, I called him and I was like, hey, your friend wants me to let him in your apartment because he left his glasses. So I'm about to come up there. And he was like, oh, I'm here. And I'm like, you're there? It's like fucking 9 a.m.
How'd you get back so
Right. So I pull up in the parking lot and I'm like, hey, I'm here. Can you let me in the garage or whatever? And he's like, can you wait 5 minutes? My wife's here. Or not my wife, whatever. I don't want to say her name, but she's here.
Yeah.
He was like, wait 5 minutes. It's too soon. I don't want y'all to like cross paths.
Right.
And I still didn't think of anything of it. I was like, yeah, he's right. Like, shit's weird. Yeah, it's not a good time to meet. Like, that shit's weird. But she wasn't in his apartment. She was just in the garage. She had came to like, I don't know. He said she came to bring him something. So I don't fucking know. So as soon as he came down and like made sure she was gone, and then like as soon as I seen him, he was like, come here, and like, you know, walked me in and was just like, and I was just like, okay, this is weird. But so I still didn't think anything of it. Then later on that night, I had to go to work. So before work, I usually go to his house and chill for a little bit before I have to go in. All right, so yeah, he brought my shit to the car and I was just like, this shit is getting too fucking weird. Like, you've been moving like really weird these last couple of days.
Real snakish.
So he could tell when he brought me my stuff that I was like, something was wrong with me.
Yeah.
So he texted me and he was like, babe, all I care about is you. Like, if something's wrong or you want to talk about something, we can talk about anything. Like, I'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Right.
So I was like, nah, it's cool. I'm probably just tripping anyways, you know. I didn't say that, but I was just like, no, I'm good, you know. Let it go. Red flag number 20. So,
this is 890.
So, yeah. So he had told me he was going to stay with his grandpa that night, remember? So I was like, okay, well, so I was headed to work. So I get to work and his friend Jarvis comes up to me and he's like, hey, Aysia. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even recognize him. I was like, hey. And he was like, you don't even know who I am, do you? I was like, no. He was like, DJ's friend. I was like, oh, hey. I was like, you want something to drink? So I made him something to drink. And he was like, I could never forget a beautiful face like you. Oh, yours. And I was just like, that was weird. So in my head, I'm like, oh, well,
watch y'all fucking partners, because they be trying to fuck y'all bitches.
Yeah, so I was just like, that was weird. So not even like 20 minutes later, I get a text from his other friend. And he's like, hey, DJ just got back from his grandpa's. He's getting dressed and we're going to come up there. And I was like, okay.
Where does Papa stay?
In Cypress. Okay. So if you're from Houston, you know Cypress is 45 minutes
by the house.
Downtown.
Papa by the house?
By his house?
Yeah, by his house.
By the house.
Yes. So that would mean that it would have took him 2 hours to get to my job. So the timeline didn't match up.
Yeah.
So he never left.
So how much time did he spend with Papa?
Right. He never left. Period. So when I seen him and he popped up, I was just like, okay, whatever. I don't know.
You just wasn't thinking about
I just wasn't. I was trying not to fucking like really trip the fuck out.
Right.
And make something bigger than it was. And so when I seen him, he was so fucked up already. Like, so fucked up. And I'm like, are you good? And he's like, no, I just found out that my grandpa's about to die. It's like his last couple of days. And I'm like, well, why are you in the club? Like, go spend his last days. Like, I was just confused. And so then I was like, well, maybe that's his way of coping. Like, he's just drinking, getting fucked up, like, trying not to think about it type shit. I don't know. So the whole time we're in the club, he grabbing my ass, telling me he loves me. He can't wait to see me. He wishes he could stay with me, but he has to go to his grandpa's tonight.
So he's going to Papa's.
So he's going back to his grandpa's. That's what he said. Then I said that too. I'm like, are you driving? And he's like, no, I'm going to take an Uber over there.
45 minutes.
To Papa's. And I'm like, well, do you want me to give you a ride after
money?
Look, I was like, do you want me to give you a ride after work? And he was like, no, people are going to ask too many questions. And I'm like, I'm not.
Papa should be asleep.
I'm like, I'm not asking to come inside and meet your fucking family. I'm just saying, do you want me to drop you off? And he was just like, no, yeah, it's just too soon. And I'm just like, what's the difference between, what's the difference between an Uber driver and me? Like, I could be your Uber driver to them. Like, what the fuck? It don't matter. So that didn't make sense. So the club closes. He's like, all right, I'm about to get in the Uber and go, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, cool. So while I'm closing out, it just like all hits me at once. And I'm just like, this nigga is lying about everything. Like, this shit does not make sense whatsoever. So I literally, and mind you guys, like, I'm fucking in love with this man. Like, in love with him. So I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I start crying. My best friend Monica that works with me, she's like, you know, are you good? And I'm like, no, bro. Like, I'm fucked up about this shit. Like,
something ain't
I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in this situation. So I texted his friend and I was like, hey, can I come over after work and like talk to you? Because like, I need a friend. Like, I'm really fucking sad, bro. And he's like, yeah, come through. So after work, I go over there and literally like my mascara is like running down my face. I'm a fucking hot ass mess. And as soon as I walk in his apartment, he has 2 girls there already. And I was just like, oh fuck, I can't even like talk to him how I want to talk to him because I'm not telling my business in front of these bitches. So he was like, well, do you want to talk? Like, we can step on the balcony or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, please. So we step on the balcony, and as soon as like we get to chopping it up, DJ pops up in his doorway. Mind you, the friend lives at the same condo as him. So I'm just like, what? You supposed to be at your grandpa's. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
So he said that he went all the way to his grandpa's and came back.
All this happened in between
all
closing
this,
out and
yes.
getting over there, and that's
which
like
would mean it would take another. Actually, it would be like an hour because Cyprus there's no traffic, so it would be like an hour.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, your fucking timelines aren't adding up,
That
bro.
doesn't make any sense. From you closing out to you making it to where they live at is like literally like maybe a 30-minute.
Exactly. So I was just like, what the fuck? So when he popped up, he had makeup all over his shirt. And it wasn't like makeup like when you hug a bitch. Like, it was makeup like right here.
And he just got his...
Yeah, and I was just looking like, bro, what the fuck?
A lot of dome action.
And still, like, I didn't say anything because the bitches were there. They had company, and I didn't want to, like, make a scene or, like, you know.
Kept it cool.
Yeah, I kept it cool. So then he was like, well, you guys want to go upstairs to my apartment? Let's go upstairs. I got liquor and shit up there. So we're like, okay, yeah. So we get all our shit and we go upstairs. Bitch, as soon as we walk in the fucking apartment, there's a fucking box of condoms on the floor. And we don't use condoms.
So he didn't clean up.
Exactly. Do you know how fucking embarrassed, ashamed, like...
To be the girlfriend walking up to my boyfriend.
Yes, and then we got these bitches with us that I don't even fucking know. I can't even fucking say what I want to say, do what I want to do, and I just like... I don't know. I was just like fucking going through thousands of emotions. The old me, I would have tore that motherfucking apartment up.
The fuck up.
I would have tore the fucking apartment up. But mind you, I just caught 2 fucking cases, so I gotta keep it cool. So after a while, I sit there for like 5 minutes. Actually, I went into his bedroom and like literally paced and was like, what the fuck should I do? Like, what should I do? At first, I was about to walk out and be like, oh, y'all gotta go home right now. Like, I gotta talk to this nigga. But then I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna just exit out the picture right now before I fucking do something stupid. So I leave, and when I go to my apartment, mind you, it's like 6 in the morning already now. So when I get to my apartment, all the fucking roads are blocked off to get to my apartment because there's like a race or a marathon going on. So in order for me to get to my apartment, I gotta park a mile away and walk. And I'm like, I'm not fucking walking. Like, what the fuck? So I went all the way back, or I called DJ and I'm like, I gotta stay with you tonight. Like, I can't get to my apartment. And when I got back to his apartment, mind you, I had spent like fucking 30, 45 minutes trying to get to my apartment.
Right.
So by now it's like fucking 7. So when I get back to his apartment, he's already asleep in the bed. And I just grabbed a cover and like went on the couch. And I could not fucking sleep. Like, everything I had found out, like, I literally wanted to like throw water on him, wake him the fuck up, like, just go crazy. But I was just like, you know what? I'm just like, I can't talk to this nigga no more.
Right.
So in my head, I'm just like, I know in my heart that something's off. Everything is off. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just bow out gracefully and not say shit to him.
Keep it cute, sis.
Yeah, keep it cute. So while he was asleep, I got all my shit, gathered my shit, took his key off my thing and put it on the counter, and I left. Now, the rest of the day, I'm like waiting for him to get up. Like, when he sees his key, is he gonna call me? Is he gonna text me? Is he gonna
try to plead his case?
Yeah, like plead his case. Like, nothing. I didn't hear from this nigga at all. So by like 8 p.m., I texted him and I'm like, okay, so are we gonna talk about anything? Like, what happened? Like, and he's like, don't fucking call my phone. I'm cool on you and his friend.
So now he's mad about the friend.
Yeah,
after the party went arguing.
Yeah, he's mad at me and his friend because we were chilling at 4:30 in the morning, which we always fucking do. It's nothing.
But then he came up and then told the party to come downstairs.
Yes.
So he was really mad why he just didn't take you and not the party.
Right. So he's like, I'm cool on both of y'all. I don't understand why you were hanging out with my friend at 4:30 in the morning. And I'm like, you act like we were chilling together alone. Like, there was
I ain't gonna lie
there.
though, Aysia. My nigga would have punched me in the mouth.
No, but you gotta understand.
He wouldn't have gave a fuck how many times I've been chilling with him. And
no, you gotta understand that, like, we chilled with each other alone all the time. Alone.
My niggas would have been like...
When DJ used to go to his grandpa's,
Fronto would have been.
Listen, with the friend used to stay with him. So when DJ would go to his grandpa's, it would just be me and the friend in his house. It was no weird shit. Like, it was never no fucking weird shit. So his friend texted me and he was like, yeah, you know, DJ's mad at us, da da da. And I'm like, I know, like, he's tripping. Like, we didn't even do nothing or whatever. So I guess DJ had texted him and was like, fuck him, fuck our friendship, fuck all this shit, da 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 da. So at that point, I think this was like about to be 9, so I'm getting ready to go to work again. All right, so the friend was texting me, letting me know that DJ was basically like, fuck him, and he wasn't gonna fuck with him anymore. So after that, I had talked to the friend on the phone or whatever, and he basically told me, I was like talking to him on the phone, telling him like how I felt about the condoms being on the floor, the makeup on his shirt, like, and DJ still wasn't explaining himself.
Right.
And DJ kept saying like nothing was going on. And I'm telling the friend, like, I know something is going on. Something happened. Like, what the fuck happened? So after me talking to him for so long, the friend finally comes out and says that he fucked the Uber driver. DJ fucked the Uber driver.
Uber or Lyft, sis?
The Uber driver, bro.
Well, at least that bitch was getting paid more than Lyft.
Bro. Do you know how fucking furious I was?
I would have been pissed.
You left my job, kissing all on me, telling me you loved me and shit. My job is 2 minutes from your house. So that means you took a 2-minute Uber ride to your house, convinced this bitch to go upstairs, and then fucked her. And then invited us upstairs and didn't fucking clean up.
He didn't even wash his...
Bro, I was livid. Is it pointing at us?
Yeah.
So I was fucking livid. Like, I cannot tell you, like, I had to go home. I couldn't even work that night. I was so fucking mad I had to go home. And so that's when I posted all that shit. Like, this nigga was married, then he cheated on me. Like, I was fucking beyond furious. Like, I didn't know what the fuck to do or what to say. Like, I was just like, steam.
Facts. Ears blowing smoke and shit.
Yes. So,
no, like...
so, you know, so I went home that night and I literally, like, no lie, cried. the entire fucking night. I don't think I ever went to sleep. I was just so fucking emotional. Like, my whole fucking world came crashing down, bro. Everything. And not only that, like, I'm going through this court shit. My whole fucking life is falling apart, basically. Right. My whole life is falling apart. And now by this point, I had already quit drinking. I decided that I no longer wanted to drink. Every time I drink, I either fight someone, I cry, I fucking do stupid ass shit. So I was just like, you know what? I'm done with drinking, like, forever. And I think I decided not to drink maybe like a month into me and DJ's relationship. Yeah. So I had already not been drinking.
You had been like,
I had been like
32 days.
Yeah, I was like super sober.
I'm a good friend. 32 days. I'm spicy as fuck, right? With not enough juice, would you put in cayenne pepper?
I want that.
Well, you can have those back.
So,
I still want my pack of noodles even though you ain't.
Ghetto ass friend, bro.
Alright, so the next couple of days were like super hard for me. Like, really hard for me. I felt really fucking alone. I felt like I didn't have shit. My whole fucking world came crashing down on me. My life was like fucking upside down. And so I tried to commit suicide again. And this time I purposely did it. The first time it was like subconsciously, I was drunk and I just like did it on some drunk shit. I don't even remember doing it the first time, honestly. But the second time I did it on purpose. Like, I was just like, fuck this, bro. Like, I'm so fucking hurt and I want all of this fucking pain to stop. Like, I cannot fucking do this. And then on top of that, oh, and I forgot. After my first suicide attempt, I had spoke to I have two moms, a real mom and a stepmom. My real mom abandoned me for 16 years. My stepmom is the one who raised me, so she's my real mom. So I had called my real mom after, you know, the suicide attempt, the first one, and she knew that I tried to commit suicide. And she basically picked up the phone. I think I said like fucking or something to her, and she was like, don't fucking call my phone ever again until you learn how to talk to me with some respect. And I'm like, I just tried to kill myself. And I'm like, why? How could you talk to your daughter after you just found out can I have the fucking hookah that I asked you for 6 times?
Hey, bitch, you just stop talking and going off on me. But I was just about to tell y'all, bitch, I thought I had to be up at fucking 10 a.m. I don't have to be up till fucking the evening.
It's a party.
We should go to Ruchi's.
We could have got high.
Alright, so, yeah, I was like really fucking depressed. Like, I wasn't talking to my mom. I really don't talk to any of my parents like that. So, like, I really felt like so fucking alone. Like, literally so alone. I think at one point I called my brother and I was like, can you please just come sit here with me? Like, just, I need your energy, your company, like something. And my brother was basically like, I'm too busy. Like, figure it out on your own type shit. And then that night I was just like, fuck this. Like, fuck life. Like, I don't want to live anymore.
Yeah.
So.
That's hurtful.
It was very fucking hurtful. Like,
yeah,
that was like literally.
Especially at a time when you needed somebody.
Yeah, and that was like the darkest fucking place I've ever been in my life, no lie. And so that day, like, so me and his friend became really close after that because they had fallen out, and like, he was like, basically he fucked us up both over, you know? So we kind of like linked up after that and we were friends. And so he knew what kind of state of mind I was because he had been talking to me like all those last couple of days or whatever, and he knew about my first suicide attempt too. So he was like trying to make sure like I wasn't gonna do anything. And so there was one day he hadn't heard from me all day, and so he freaked out,
started blowing me up. Almost got his ass.
He started calling all of my friends.
I'm like, why is he calling? Wait. Hold on, wait.
He called all my friends trying to find out where I lived, what was my apartment number. So he ended up showing up to my house and he found me like lifeless, basically. And he called the police. They did what they had to do. And I literally woke up in a psych ward. Literally woke up in a psych ward. Like lost, confused, like what the fuck? And I had to stay in the hospital for 4 days. So basically they monitor you and make sure that you're, you know, good to go home until they're ready to release you. And this was a real fucking psych ward, like really real life crazy people, like people touching the walls, doing
They was running around doing
they were
crazy
doing
shit.
crazy shit. I was like, I do not belong here. Like, I don't belong here. No, there was literally a guy like touching the wall like this.
He was a mom.
And then he started talking to himself. He was like, I told Shanice not to go over there, and you did anyways.
Bitch, he told Shanice not to go. He said, what the
And
fuck
I was
he
just
said?
like, bro, this is a
Traumatized.
real life fucking psych ward, and I need to get the fuck out of here. So the whole 4 days that I was there, I had a lot of time to like reflect and, you know, think about what I actually did. And I basically started seeing like very slowly, like very, very slowly, I started trying to see the lesson and everything. And I was like, you know, he did give you the $3,000 for your lawyer.
Right.
He did uplift you out of a dark place
It was
in
6
that
months a
moment.
season.
And yeah, my friend said it so well. He was like, that was just one season. The season's over. Now you got to buy a coat. Get ready for the next season.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you're right. Like, I just got to let the shit go. But the whole time I was in the psych ward, like, I kid you not, I was going back and forth in my mind. Like, should I talk to him? Should I try to get back with him? Should I this? Should I that? My friend had called me like, hey, he's trying to come see you at the hospital. And I was just like, I don't know if I can, like, he's like a trigger for me, you know?
The nerve.
Yes.
Bitch.
He was worried
I
about
would've
me
found out he
and
was
wanted
at
to
that
come
fucking
see me at the hospital. So,
Flabbergasted.
Somebody should have been petting your hair like you're petting her like a fucking dog.
so I ended up,
More.
Woman.
You have me fucked up. The whole time I'm doing this, you're like, every time I stop, you're like, more. Like Molly baby.
Don't get me started.
So,
You should have seen the way I was hopping gates.
oh yeah, my friend David was looking for me too. It was very sad. I really do apologize to all my friends for, you know, not thinking of anybody but myself.
You know, one thing I think that we all like really need to learn, like, I know we all have like family that's like blood family, but like that shit, like, I'm about to cry because that shit was really tough. As like,
Yeah.
I don't think you know.
For
like,
sure, I had a whole anxiety
they scared the
attack.
fuck out of us. Like,
Yeah.
I know. But I'm not gonna lie to you, like when I was in the hospital, I was just like, I want to talk to him. Like, I love him so much. Like,
that ain't
I
love.
was so fucking hurt, and like the only person that could bring me out of that hurt was him. You know, like that's the only person that could do it.
He put you there though.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know, when I got out of the hospital, literally I had anxiety about getting to my phone. Like, I wanted to text him immediately, call him immediately. And as soon as I got my phone in my hand, charged it, turned it back on, like, it just like let go. Everything came out of my body. Like, no, you don't need to talk to him.
Right.
Period. Like, you don't need that shit in your life.
That was the
And-
real test.
Right, because at this moment you have to put yourself first.
Yeah. So, but like still, y'all, I was like so fucking depressed. Like the last 2 days in the hospital, I didn't eat, I didn't sleep. Then the next 2 days after I got out of the hospital, I still hadn't ate, I still hadn't slept. Literally, my mind was like, my body was so exhausted, but my mind was like on fucking 3,000. And I just like could not, I didn't know how to deal with the pain.
Because love is a very powerful drug.
Yes, like I was so fucking hurt. Like I felt so betrayed.
It's the one thing that can make you feel good and make you feel bad.
And then, like, not only that, like I told you, I'm not a nice person. I don't open up to people. I don't do relationships. I never get like deep with people. And I opened my fucking heart up to him. Like, told you about my family, about how nobody really loves me, you know? And you pulled me in and were like, I'll love you forever. That's what you told me. And like all that shit was shattered. And so like I was in a really, really fucking dark place. And then over the next couple of days, I started seeing like his posts. I started hearing about him from other people. And I just started realizing that like his actions have nothing to do with me. Because the whole time I was like, I'm so fucking stupid. I fell for everything. Like I was manipulated and I fell for every single thing. And I'm dumb, you know? Like maybe I deserve it.
No, because I mean, you still got what
Right.
you needed out of it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it caused a lot of pain and turmoil. Don't get me wrong, but shit, you didn't go out losing either when you think about it.
Right.
Like, you
That goes
handled
back to that aspect of taking all the great things from it instead of focusing on
because you could have
the
still been in a
negative.
position where we're all trying to scrape up the money for the case shit and shit like that. Like,
Right.
that shit came, you know how it came. And just.
So after I had found out he was married or whatever, the wife actually emailed me and said to call her. So when I called her, I was expecting like, I'm gonna have to cuss this bitch out.
Bitch, you fucking my nigga.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna have to
bitch.
cuss her out. And this, literally, y'all, she was the nicest person I've ever talked to. Like, she came on the phone like, hey, I just first want to say that you're so beautiful, and I'm so sorry for what happened to you. Like, he's hurt me, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. Like, I would never wish a heartbreak on anybody. And she was like, I'm gonna apologize on behalf of him. And she was like, but he still is my husband. We are still married, and all that shit you posted on Instagram, like, you have to take it down because
It's affecting me.
my clients are gonna see it, my people are gonna see it, everybody knows that we're married, and it's gonna affect what I have going on. And I was like, man, you're right. And then one thing that she said that stuck with me, that still sticks with me today, which is crazy. She was like, if you ask God, which I told you too, if you ask God for forgiveness every single day, then it's hypocritical of you not to forgive other people in your life or forgive yourself. And I was just like, right. That was very, very, very deep. And and after I'd spoke to her, it made me realize, like, if this nigga couldn't love her,
And as nice as she is.
and as nice and understanding and compassionate and as she is, there's something wrong with him.
It's him.
It's him. There's something really fucking wrong with him. And it has nothing to do with me. And that's when, like, I hit this, like, 360. And I was just like, why the fuck am I sad? Why the fuck am I crying? Why the fuck do I even care? Like, I got $3,000 out of it. I got some shoes. I got a whole bunch of shit. I'm good.
Right.
I'm straight. I got my house, my car, my bills are paid. I got my life back. I'm straight. Like, all I can do is go up from here. So I literally, like, yes. And thank you to her for calling me and being so fucking classy. Like, that was beautiful.
Shout out to the wife.
Shout out to her.
Real women do real shit.
No, seriously. So after that, I don't know, had this, like, feeling that I needed to, like, soul search deeper. Like, why I act the way I act, why I allow things to happen to me. And I just, like, started, like, thinking about my upbringing and my past and my parents. And so I'm going to tell y'all, like, a little bit about my upbringing so you kind of have an understanding. So like I said, my mom, my real mom, abandoned me I didn't meet her till I was 16. And I was raised by my stepmom. And my stepmom and my dad literally got divorced, like, after 10 years of being married, but she still claimed me as her daughter because she raised me. Mm-hmm. So she's still my mom till this day. But still, in all of my relationships, everything is artificial. Everything. Like, my stepmom, she loves me, but at the same time, she treats me so much differently than my brothers. So although those
are her biological kids?
Yeah, those are her biological kids. And it's very apparent. Like, there's things that happen and I never forget. Like, that I was treated differently.
Right.
And then my real mom, she's just, like, a selfish person. All she cares about is herself. My dad is an alcoholic. He's not a father at all to me. I don't talk to my parents ever. I've literally raised myself since I was 16. So, and even my brothers and sisters, like, we don't talk every day. We maybe talk, like, every 2-3 months. I don't talk to my parents every day. I talk to them every 2-3 months. They don't know where I live. Like, if I would have died that night, they wouldn't have even known where to come. They've never been to any of my apartments. Like, literally, they're not good parents. Like, I don't have parents. I've raised myself. I've literally been my own guidance. So I started thinking about that too, and I'm just like, my whole life I've always been scared to tell them that they're pieces of shit.
Right.
Them and my brothers and sisters. Like, my brothers and sisters know if they call me, I'm gonna stop everything I'm doing and run to to their rescue. You need money, you need this. Even if I don't have the money, I'll find it. Because that's how, like, caring and selfless I am for my siblings. But I don't get that in return from them. Never. Like, I always text my brothers and sisters, are you okay? Are you good? They don't never text me, are you okay? Are you good? Don't call me. Like, it's very, like, one way with all of my relationships. And I realized that my whole life, like, I've just allowed it. I've allowed it. And I've always been scared to, like, really tell people how I really feel because I don't want to lose them.
Right.
But in all reality, I was sweeping my feelings under the rug.
I mean, I'll actually, you already lost them.
Yeah.
You know, a long time ago.
So, I came to the realization that, like, I needed to tell them, like, how I feel. And so that's where I'm at right now. Like, I feel like I need to sit down with all of them in a room and tell them every single thing in my life that they have done wrong. And I don't want it to come from, like, a hateful, like, I'm bashing you, you guys are fucking shitty parents. But I want them to know that, like, you guys traumatized me.
It affected you.
It affected me my whole fucking life. And it's still affecting me till this day. Like, I can't get over this shit. And I'm never going to be able to get over this shit until I fucking tell them how I feel.
Right. I think once you tell them, you're like, break the cycle. You know, it's kind of like you have to get those things out in order to endure more.
Right. For more the personal reasons is self-healing. Like, it's not about other people. It's about you.
That's
and
also
it's
like a reason why you
hurdles
love
you have to
you don't really
get.
know how to, like, love. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you don't feel loved. It's like when we come into the play, it's like,
yeah,
people
unloved
really love
people
me.
don't know how to be
You know,
loved.
like,
So right now it feels like weight on your shoulders.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to get it off so you
I'm telling you,
can
once you tell
start
them how you
creating a
feel,
new
that whole
load.
way is gonna come out, because after that, it's kind of like, okay, now it's in your hands. What are you gonna do?
Right.
At that point,
you know
Aysia
how I
has
feel.
done all
Either you're
Aysia
gonna
has
work
did,
to
yeah.
be better towards me,
There can be no
or
more you can do
it's
after
not
that.
gonna be us.
Right.
And that really affects a lot of people. Like, I don't think, like, you know, my parents, my family, like, everything wasn't kosher. You know, like, I didn't go through as much things as a lot of people did. But, like, if I don't tell them, like, this and this and this and this, I'll literally sit and be, like, thinking, like, I got siblings that I feel like they treated differently than
Right.
me. You know, like, you kind of got to, like, tell them to
Your
get
mind
it
is
off of you.
your own mind is gonna be your biggest battle in life.
Facts.
Period. Because those things, they're like self-incriminating in the mind. Like, you feel like you personally attack
And honestly,
yourself.
if they don't get
all
it
the
after
time.
that, they missing out, because you're, like, an amazing person.
Right.
And I just don't understand, like my mom, like, how do you hear that I almost killed myself and you don't even give a fuck? Like, if I heard my child almost killed herself, I would run to them and never leave their fucking side.
With your real mom now, I kind of feel like, I mean, she left you for 16
Right.
years. You know
So
what I'm
it was
saying?
a-
Like,
it was a-
But not even just her. My stepmom, my dad, they all knew too. And nobody
Right.
ever came to come sit with me. That's why I did it again. It was a cry out for love. Like, nobody fucking loves me.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's a greater feeling when you are the greatest you and the best you, and they have to sit
And
and
watch.
say that they didn't contribute to you
None of
being the
that.
greatest person
Right.
that you are today. So that's going to be your revenge, and that's why you have to keep working hard to just be a better you, so you can say that the things that you've been through didn't affect you and you overcome those things.
Yeah. I just, like, I don't... It's so weird for me to hear, like, people talk to their parents every day. Or, like...
Right. We most definitely have
Right.
this situation similar
Right.
when it comes to parents.
Yeah.
But I will say, for the most part, like, me personally, like, I've been through the steps that you're going through right now, and I've already, like, moved past it. But it is something, like, very hard to go through,
and it
because
sucks
you have
when
to
the child
relive.
has to be the parent.
Right. Well,
Like,
that's how I
I've
feel like a
always
lot
been
of
a parent,
people
always.
relationships are these days.
Right.
But when you have to personally dig deep and relive a lot of things that you try so hard to forget, it's kind of like you're pulling scabs off, and you want to make sure you heal right this time. You don't want to make sure that the same wound keeps getting opened.
You just have to know that when you go into that conversation with these people,
What it is that you want to
can't
get out
let-
of it.
You, like, yeah, like, at the end of the day, what their feedback, it can't affect you. You have to be like, I said what I said. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna, you know, some people aren't gonna take it that lightly. They're gonna
One
be
thing
like,
it's all about action now from this point, because I would say me and my mom, our relationship got better because she personally started putting action towards being a better mom. So I feel like once you put your feelings on the table and let them know how you feel, it's really up to them. But don't be hurt if they don't step up.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
The plate.
So I had a couple of days after out of the hospital, I was like, you know what? I need to do something that's gonna make me so happy. And I was like, the river. I love the fucking river. Like, the river, literally, to me, anytime I get in the water, I'm a water baby. I love to swim. I love to be around the water, fish, all that. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go to San Marcos and just float the river and be with my family. So my aunt, she's literally witnessed all of my trauma. Like, she was with me from the day I was born until now. And she knows everything that I've been through. She knows how shitty all my parents are. And I literally broke down to her for like 2 hours, and she just held me, and I cried and I cried and I cried. And I was just like, it's not fair. Like, everything that I've been through, it's not fair.
At least you know how to be better for your kids.
Right.
That just taught you a lot.
And that's the thing too, like,
I've been through that feeling right there, because you feel like you so fucked up that you won't be.
I feel like my kid, when I have kids, I don't want all of this shit to be still a problem and be pushed onto them also. And I don't want these people in my kid's life if they're shitty people.
Right.
Like, if you're a shitty person to me, you can't be a good person to my kids.
That's one thing, like, I look up to my sister because, like, me and my sister been through the same shit, and she basically pushes everybody away negative, and she protects her family.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend, her baby. Right. It's like once you get your own family, you will protect it.
Yeah. Like, I'm honestly, like, you see how I couldn't have Landon around the way I live my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just wouldn't be fair to him. You know, not to be in a stable environment. I'm moving around every 6 months. I'm doing a lot of shit. Like, it wouldn't be fair to him. I wouldn't dare put him around the shit that I've been doing. Like, I just wouldn't do it. Like, he don't need to come home and see me drinking wine bottles every fucking night. Like, you know, smoking weed and shit. Like, that shit's not play at all. Like, you'll trust me, but you're gonna be
right. You're straight all the way up.
You're gonna be like,
but I told my aunt, like, well, she told me and we talked about it, and we both, like, know that, like, so I did, like, schedule a meeting this Sunday, actually, and I am gonna do a follow-up video after the meeting to, like, let y'all know how it went. But I'm terrified. I'm fucking terrified to face all my family and tell them how I really feel about them. And especially my dad. Like, my dad is a very, like, aggressive, like, violent person. And if you piss him off, like, he shuts down and he'll fucking cut me off in a heartbeat.
That's where you get that from?
Yes, absolutely. So I just, like, I feel I'm terrified. So, but I talked to my aunt, and I told her, like, I know that there might not be any change after this meeting. Like, there might not be any fucking change. And I don't want to lose these people. I would rather have them in my life than lose them. But I know that once I get all this shit out, then I'm going to start moving differently. Like, if it weren't for me going out of my way to go see everybody in my family, they would never see me.
Right.
So from this, after I have this meeting, and, like, I'm not going to keep putting my neck out there, you know, like, I'm not. So if they decide to change and are willing to put forth effort, then I'm gonna do the same. I'll match your energy. But after this, I'm letting it go. Like, I'm letting it go.
You have to. All that toxic shit.
And I'm just gonna move forward and be the best me that I can possibly be.
Yeah,
and that's
remember,
all I
blood
can do.
don't make you family all the time.
But, like, one thing I can say is, like, I would never, ever, 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 ever in life change my circumstances. Like, everything that I've been through has taught me to be a good fucking person. Like, I am genuinely, and I know in my heart that I am a good fucking person. And
crazy.
I'm a little crazy, but I'm a
we all are
good person. And when I love so fucking hard. Like, my friends, my family, like, I love people to death. Like, literally, I would fucking kill for you, die for you, all that. So I'm very proud of where I came from. Very proud that I wasn't spoon-fed. I had to grind out here. and I am who I am.
It's different.
God,
I am definitely a whole nother breed of a person. Like,
And we love and respect that about you. We most definitely want to see you here with us. For sure.
I mean, we can always.
I think if
Sunday
anything,
dinners
if
or
you didn't
something.
think people cared about you, now you know
Now
bitches
you
care
fucking
about
know,
you.
bitch.
We most definitely do.
Baby.
all right,
Me and your goddaughter.
that was a long fucking video, I'm sure.
But don't we feel so much better that we've gotten it out?
I do. I feel amazing. And I also want to put this out there too, like, I'm not bashing DJ. He did fuck up. He fucked up royally. But the crazy thing is, after he fucked the girl, I was willing to forgive him. If he would have came forward and was like, listen, I was fucked up. I fucked up. I made an impulse decision. Fucked this ogre. My bad.
Fiona.
I honestly would have forgave him. Like, I would have forgave him and like, okay, we'll work on it. One day we promised each other through the good, bad, the ugly, we would like forever be friends, no matter what. And I admit that. Like,
So would you still be his friend today?
no, because he's a liar.
The way he came about
It was the whole.
Look, the one thing I can respect a fucking sex addict. I can respect a fucking murderer. I can respect anybody that lives in their truth and tells you up front who they are. You cannot do anything but respect that.
Facts.
A liar, you can't respect a fucking liar.
You can't trust them.
Because you're not giving me the option to decide if I want to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying?
Be
Like,
a friend, you
if
love
you're a
me,
fucking
then-
rapist, you need to come out and say you're a fucking rapist. And then it's on me to decide whether I want to fuck with you or not. But a liar just puts you in situations that,
You don't ask to be a part
yeah,
of
you don't
it.
ask to be a part of, which is what I was put into a fucking triangle situation that I didn't ask to be a part of. So,
Go ahead, speak, Miss Kyle.
oh yeah,
That's more like a 4-way situation, but we'll talk about me in the next
oh
video.
yeah, and I forgot to tell y'all that it turns out Brittany actually wrote me again, and it turns out that she told DJ to DM me and try to pimp me. She said it
Well,
all
what's
up.
her tie with you? Because you was fucking her nigga?
So her
I
plan.
knew it was a setup from
So
the
her
jump
plan was for DJ to pimp
to
me.
fuck your life up.
To pimp me, and DJ was gonna go along with it,
Which
but he
man?
fell in love with me instead.
But he still fucked your life up.
So when she saw me posting him, she instantly got mad, like her plan didn't. All right, you guys, it's fine. Ow, shit.
It's Jesus telling you, take your
Hoop
shit
a hoe.
off.
Right, the bigger the hoop. All right, y'all. So yeah, it's 5 in the morning. We're fucking exhausted. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And once again, I don't do shit like this. I don't let people know about my personal life, but I do feel like there's a lot of people that can relate.
Right,
And
right.
I hope that I inspire some people.
And if you ever have any kind of like suicide attempts, you should like definitely reach out to somebody, you know, like don't think that you're alone in that type of situation, because people actually do give a fuck about people whether they know it or not. That's a serious topic, so don't take that as a joke. We're not taking that very lightly.
Right. Don't make an impulse decision that you can't come back from. Period. So, yeah, you guys like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll do a follow-up video after I meet with my family and let you guys know how it went, how I'm doing, what I'm doing moving forward. And yes.
We out this bitch.